All right, here's our next gotta get her fixed quick thing. It's the I think it's called the Bravo grinder. It's a small feed grinder. We've used it for chickens for a lot of years, and not getting anything when we try to power this on. Reset's not resetting anything. It never has had a resetting issue. As far as I can tell, I do have power at the source because the vacuum turns on when I plug that in the same one. This knob here is some sort of safety switch, which is what I really suspect is the problem. And if this is a little less than fully tight, this won't come on. And with it fully tight, it's not coming on. So I think what I got to do is unbolt it from where it is, take this case and open it up and see what's inside the electronics in the motor area. See if there's anything I can do in there to get her going. So that's our project. I got the girls, they're gonna bring me a table to work on while I get this out of unbolted from where it sits. So alright, let's get to work on this. Alright, here's a sad state of affairs. This is what I got when I opened it up. Now if that motor still works, that's kind of impressive. If it doesn't work, that's maybe somewhat expected. But anyways, just want to show you this before I blow it out. So let me get to that. I'll blow it out, make a heck of a dust storm. And then we'll start trying to trace down what will or won't work and get after it. Looking pretty sad though. It just builds up over time. There's not a good way to clean it out. I've blown air through these side vents and blown it out a number of times and I had no idea it was doing this. This is the first time I've had it apart, so let me blow it off and make a heck of a mess. And we'll see if we can clean it out and get it working. Alright, we got it apart, got it blowed out quite a bit. Still a little bit of junk, but mostly blowed out. Here's what I think I got. If you screw one of these, ends up coming all the way through here, and when it's tight, it pulls this way, and then between that, this one, I believe, sticks through here, and when you tighten the lid on this thing, a part of it pushes on this to push this down. The fact that this is installed in the case pushes this one in. So between this one pulling out and these two pulling in, everything is supposed to connect and make the switch, make it hot. You know, safety is, you know, number one. And so I'm going to take this apart and see if it's dirty inside or whatever. I'm going to say this, I don't get why this is happening. This almost looks like a manufacturing defect. Why would they have that wire sticking out the side of there? I don't know the answer to that, and I'm wondering if it wasn't supposed to be through the side. And I also wonder if this is going to be full of dust because it's got a little bit of extra spots for stuff to come in. So anyways, this is my next thing, is to open this up, see what we got, and then I got to go get my multimeter and start testing stuff. So just wanted to show you how I think this works, and the fact that we got extra blue wire out the side from the original build. That can't be right. All right, let me keep going here. All right, well, that's not a beautiful thing. I don't know if you can tell how much dust is built up inside the switch body there for over the years. I just wanted to show you that before I blow it out. And then looks like there's one more round of stuff to unscrew here to get to all of it. So there's probably a reason this doesn't work. I think we may be looking at it. Too much stuff builds up. So if you got one of these, I will highly recommend you pull it apart about once a year and blow it out thoroughly. And it'll be interesting to see what the final outcome is here, if we've just burned the motor up, or maybe I'm not sure what this is. Some sort of a not a resistor, but well, anyways, yeah, I don't know. I'm not an electric motor guy, so here's hoping. Let me blow that out and dig in further. All right. I don't know if you've seen this before. This is my little husky case that has my multimeter in it. And you're thinking, well, why is that nice and even still around? Let me get this all out. This is just an electric tester. I'll show you that in a second. I'll stick that in the end of the extension cord. And then there's my multimeter, which is a Klein Tools MM300 that my son left it on last time he was checking something, which wasn't long enough ago. The battery's completely dead, so we'll see how we do. That's disappointing. Okay, so I'm no genius with the multimeter, but let me show you what I think I know. And that is, we've got it set to 1.5 volt, 9 volt. I don't think that's right. So if we want to test for an open switch, we can put it here on 200, I believe that's ohms, with that symbol there. And we'll grab our probes out of here. So it's showing OL, that's open line, and if the switch is closed or we touch the probes together, then it shows whatever resistance is there, which is very little, whoops, when I just touch the probes together. So we'll use that to test the switches to see if these two switches are doing the right thing when we open and close the switches. And maybe it's one of those. Those are both the safety switches, and so the odds of me wiring around those while I have this open is really high. So we'll see how that goes. And then I am trying to, we want to check voltage. So I do believe that is here, and figure out exactly what that is, you know, because I want to be able to test for voltage along the way, starting with where the electrical cord comes in, and then test it there, test it when the switch is on and off. Of course, we can again test this switch for open line and closed line, and just we want to make sure switches aren't the problem. Eventually the problem could be in this, which is just a reset switch, and I'm not sure exactly. We'll test that for open line and not open line also, and eventually see if we can make the motor spin, because maybe all the electrical stuff works fine and there's something wrong with the motor or whatever this canister thing is on the edge. So that's where we're heading. Let me figure out what I got here, and I'll be back with you. All right. For some reason, the GoPro is recording 27 minutes of nonsense. I don't know. Okay, so here's the situation. Remember these two rocker switches we had? These both test good when you do the open line thing. I get it. What happens is the power comes in here. These two were plugged in where these were, and the whites on here were plugged into the backside of these rocker switches. So as long as both of these switches are closed and you turn on your power here, the whites would get the power, the thing would run. That's the deal. This is sitting aside. Whites are plugged in directly to this switch, so when we hit this switch, the thing runs. those rockers both worked. I've never still been able to do the whole open line, close line thing with this switch. I think this switch was the actual problem. But I think I blew enough air on it, and I blew out the connectors, and I did the stuff. And now we're in business. So this is going to go back together without the rocker switches engaged. I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to put it back together and let the people know the safety switches are no longer a part of the scenario, and be careful. You know, don't do dummy things that cause injury. So that's the plan. Let me start putting things back together, and we'll see if we can get back to grinding some feed. And I don't know, I think I gotta take a picture of the side of this switch with my phone so I can zoom in and see what all those letters are. And then maybe I need to order one of these switches off of somewhere. And because this switch, I'm pretty sure this switch is not awesome. But I think it's awesome enough to get us back to grinding feed today, because the chickens don't really have any. So that's the thing. Let me get to putting it back together, and I'll probably just show you after I get it back to operational. All right, we're wrapping up this project here, and I want to start by saying, don't do this at home, and don't do it because I said to, or I did it, or any other reason. If you do anything like this, this is on you and not on me. And I think it'll be good for our operation, but I'm not going to tell you to disable your safety switches on your stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you what I did. I did it on mine. I disabled my safety stuff. If I grind my fingers up, I guess we'll blame that on me and not on Bravo or Novotel or whoever makes this grinder. But anyways, how the hammer mill works is when the motor comes on, it spins this direction really fast, and these knives, they call them, I believe, knives, will stand up like this, and centrifugal force keeps them going round and round. And you can see these are getting worn out a little bit, and they probably could be reversed, or this whole head could be flipped over or something, and run the other way for another few thousand bushels of grain. Now, when you buy this, if you don't have this cover on, because the cover pushes something here, it's this thing in here, the cover pushes that with that little green stub there. That pushes that button in, and if that's not pushed, that rocker switch is not pushed, and then you don't end up having a good circuit, and you can't turn it on. The other part is the screw knob goes into this hole, grabs that nut, and it pulls that whole unit this way, because just on its own this doesn't push far enough, but you have to pull the whole switch set this way to complete this rocker switch. There's another rocker switch that's internal to the deal right here, and when you pull this forward, that rocker switch also gets tripped. That's just a lot of rocker switches to wonder why this thing doesn't run. So those got taken out of the equation, and so if I turn this on right now, you're going to see it start to spin. And I'm sure at some point there was a warning that said, don't run this with the cover off, you could hurt yourself. And then they had to update that and say, hey, don't run this, unplug it if you're going to take this cover off. And then somebody still hurt themselves somehow. And eventually you get down to having a whole bunch of switches that help protect it all, and it also helps it not work. I'm not sure which switch didn't work. Maybe just blowing all the crap out of it is what made it start to work. but I'm not sad to see those two switches out of the equation now. So we're going to put the front back on this. Also, just a little FYI, there's two screws in there. They hook this basket onto the motor. They are Phillips or straight on this side. On the inside, they are neoprene nut. So you have to have this motor case open and then take those nuts off to get this off. I never took it all the way off. I realized I didn't need to, so I didn't. But don't get to thinking, hey, I should probably take those screws out and then this basket will come off, because you'll never get them out. You can turn them until they're loose, and then the neoprene nut is the problem. So then you still have to take the blue motor, open it up to get that off. So just a little point of order there. How this works, we pour the grain in here. It goes through the little hole there, comes down the hole, it hits the slide, and slow enough, it falls over here and it gets into the circle and bangs around on these. Eventually it roughs it up enough to punch it through this screen, and then the feed falls out the bottom. And somehow or another it all works to where the grain doesn't come through here and fall down fast enough just to jam this all up and make it stop or whatever. It works. So that's how it works. Now let me get the cover on it and we'll grind a little bit and show you what's going on, how it grinds. There's my safety disabled Bravo grinder. Alright, this is going to get a little loud, so I'm not going to do much of it, and you won't really hear me talking, and I'll probably lower the sound on this video clip just because it's going to be so loud, but I just want to show it grinding. Here we go. All right, folks, that's it. Thanks for watching. Be safe. Hope this video helps somebody out. If your Bravo grinder quits working, send it to me. I'd love to have it. If you don't want to do all this to fix it, but it looks like mostly simple stuff. All the screws go into plastic, so be careful not to strip any of them out. But I'm going to try to put a Google reminder on my calendar to just come in here in the spring next year, or maybe I'll do it twice a year. Just take it all apart, blow it all out, because I can tell already it's gonna need it. I can't think of anything I can do to save it from getting all the gunk in it. And it's putting the air hose here, I can now tell blowing this around doesn't do anything. Well, it does. I'm sure it does something, because you see stuff come out, but it's not enough to be the thing. So I think it's just a matter of, it'll probably run a long time if I just bother to take the back off of it and blow it out. Maybe I can take the back off without even unmounting it here. No, that won't work. It's got a foot screwed to it. Anyhow, thanks for watching. That's how you disable the safety switches on a Bravo grinder, and how you take a Bravo grinder that doesn't work in my situation and get it back to life and more grinding. So chickens get to eat today. They'll be happy. Thanks for watching. Bye.